Hey everyone, I am so glad you're here. You are here for such a time as this. My name is Bren Harris, and I founded Warrior Moms by Bren when my son was medically injured at 22 months of age. We have walked through hell. Now we walk through it like we own the place, and you can too, because your story matters. Now, why would I be here on a weekend in the early evening talking about holidays and special needs children? This is part 2 in our series. Please check out the other one. We're talking about gratitude. We're also talking about healing, and we're talking about first things first. Now, I don't have all the answers, and I won't pretend to. These last 2 weeks have been very challenging in our journey. We have lost a relative that had been on hospice most of the year. And this is the first time my dad passed away from cancer almost 12 years ago. And my son was so young, he didn't really understand what was going on. This time, very different, and I was completely caught unaware. Let us know in the chat where you're chiming in from and what your weather's like. We had a beautiful day today. And after the last few weeks of really learning how to explain grief to someone diagnosed on the autism spectrum level 3 and nonverbal, that's a challenge. And I won't claim to have any answers. I'm winging it. And I just love that we can show up and meet our kids where they are and also be kind to ourselves and give ourselves grace. Hey guys, good to see you. New York and Florida in the house. I am so glad you're here. Now, if you are watching this or listening to this on a audio in the future, just know that you can go to YouTube and look up American Sign Language or ASL for a specific word. So we have gratitude and we have purpose. And it's kind of like you're walking your hands, your fingers on your hand, like someone's walking. And then tonight we're talking about putting the oxygen mask on ourselves first for the holidays as we plan for children with special needs. Now, you neither need to feel like a warrior or be a mom of a special needs child to apply these principles to your upcoming holiday season. And our word tonight is detach. And you just sort of put your hands together, whichever way they fall. Put your hands together and then pull them back with the middle finger and the thumb, like you're pulling something apart. And hey, guys, good to see you. Harlem in the house. I'm so glad you're here. And we're talking about detach. Now, the word detach or detachment gets a kind of a bad rep because it can be indifference or neutral. We're talking about detaching with love tonight. And that's what the holidays are about. And I don't ever do this without any kind of a definition. And I'm running about 10 screens here, so bear with me. We are live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And please share this with anyone that you know that might be saying, hey, I don't have a special needs child, but I know someone who does. And the holidays can be incredibly stressful. Hear me. The most recent stat that I was able to find is 13% increase in ER visits of special needs children during the holidays. And a lot of that is because as neurotypical parents, we don't understand that. We don't understand sensory overload. We don't understand how they get derailed by all the change in routine during the holidays. And this is the year where I am walking in purpose and championing my calling to be an advocate for my son. And that's saying no gracefully. So that starts with putting the oxygen mask on ourselves first. Now, this is a camera-rich environment. Please take screenshots. And what do I mean by that? Most of us have been on a plane in sometime in our lifetime, and that speech has always been, please put your oxygen mask on yourself first before assisting others. Now, what does that look like in real life? We talked a little bit in our other episode. Please check out the other episodes in the series. This is sitting down and being intentional and planning for our holiday season, not doing the should, doing the what am I called to do and what's in the best interest of my family's mental health. Because when emotions go up, IQ goes down. And I've done that because I felt obligated. My son was born in Japan. We came back for the holidays and it was stressful because I have enough trouble with jet lag. Can you imagine a child? I mean, they don't know what time zone they're in. Now we're over 10 years into an official diagnosis, and we've had some time to go, okay, what's right for a special needs child that is easily thrown into sensory overload. So that's where we are. Hey guys, good to see you. Atlanta in the house. Oh, Tulsa, Oklahoma in the house. Yes, I agree, Lisa. It's something we all need to be mindful of. And I know that hey, Nettie, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. What I love is that expectations are often defined as premeditated resentments. Maya Angelou. And I want to give you permission to just release those expectations. Let's stop shooting on ourselves for the holidays. Let's say, how can we go into this season and plan for our children and ourselves with self care first and foremost as the objective? We want to be in the moment. A mentor always tells me, be where your feet are, be present, because it's so important to be present. Why do you think, now, this is not a popular opinion, but why do you think flu season coincides with the holidays? I mean, we're having more sugar, probably more alcohol, probably foods we don't typically eat, not as routine, not as disciplined, not as rested. And that is a recipe for illness. So keep in mind, you can carve out that safe space for you and your loved ones and walk into this. Now, if you're on the live, put an L. If you're on the replay, put an R. And if you're getting value, let us know in the comments, because this is not just about me and my family. This is about equipping others to say, hey, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to put my mental health front and center for the holidays. Now, detachment isn't selfish. It's caring for yourself and letting others care for themselves. Now, let me add a caveat here. Please feel free to take screenshots. I realize that this isn't one size fits all. If your children are very young and you are going to be in extra parenting mode, obviously, no school, no routine, and they need help. My son is now a teenager. He's 6'1". He towers over me. And my mission is to help him have a purpose. We are really we are keying in onto the fact that he loves to organize. He loves to be in the kitchen and create and cook. And I'm doing everything I can to nudge the birdie out of the nest so he can do those things safely and effectively on his own, because independence is so key. And yes, I'm on a learning curve. Hey guys, good to see you. I'm on a learning curve because one week he may need extra attention. The next week, back off, mom. And that's usually a punch in the arm instead of using our words. My fallback saying is always, please use your words or show me. Show me what you want so that we can practice these words. And the holidays are an incredibly priceless time. Unfortunately, expectations are premeditated resentments, and that's what our culture is about. Buy, have, do, go. Forget about your own personal mental health. Just chase that feeling. And that's not what we're about. We're here to say, yeah, who says? What's the workaround? Set your own tempo. Hear me, warriors. Set your own tempo. And I know this is pretty unpopular, and that's okay, because I'm here to advocate for being a voice for the voiceless, because our kids can't always tell us, especially when they have a special needs diagnosis. Now, one thing I really like is that if you want to be happy, have zero expectations of others, take 100% responsibility for your life, and be grateful for what you have. Boy, that reads easy, lives hard. And we have talked about gratitude. It's a little bit like a double thank you. You can put your dominant hand right under your bottom lip and just bring it forward. That's thank you. And then put both hands, one at each corner of your mouth, and bring it forward. That's gratitude. And Melanie Beattie's quote is, gratitude makes what we have enough and more. A meal into a feast, a house into a home. And that's really what this season is about, to be present and to be grateful. Now, when we detach with love, that is being kind and being respectful. I really want to bring my son to, or my child to your home. However, he's still dealing with X, Y, and Z, and we would like to be there at a calmer time. Now, one of the tricks in trade that I have learned from all these mentors in my special needs moms groups is you can always show up late and leave early. Set the tempo for your children instead of letting the pressures of the holidays overwhelm them and wreak havoc and derail them in the progress they're making in their own lives. Okay, now hear me. I'm not saying be mean about it. I'm saying detach with love. So we're going to go detach, and then we're going to make a heart. Love. Yes, that's why I'm wearing my necklace. Detach with love, and it's okay. And let's have honest, transparent conversations. And not everyone understands the assignment that we have as advocates and caregivers, and that's okay. And we can all get along even if we don't see things the same way. Okay, here's a few examples of what this might look like in real life. Ways to detach with love. Only give help or advice if asked. Let them experience the consequences of their mistakes. Now, this is a little bit of a shift from what we were talking about. Just know that if we relax those boundaries and we don't have the right foods for our children to have, we don't have the sensory decompression toys for them to have, if we are not setting those boundaries of, yeah, I know we're on Christmas vacation or Thanksgiving vacation and we don't have school for 10 days or 2 weeks or even a month. We're still going to bed at the same time. We're still having our daily routine. Okay, pause and refocus so that you can respond and not react. Okay, let's hear me, warriors. When we are centered and we are walking in purpose and championing our calling, and we are not, falling off the wagon with our intentional nutrition and our exercise, and we are leading by example of what it means to be present and be in the moment, we are going to respond, and that's pause and contribute instead of being triggered and react. I love that line from Shrek where the donkey says, "It ain't Christmas till somebody cries." I mean, that's so true in so many families because we're just going and chasing that expectation of this, our culture's idea of the holidays instead of let's pause and be grateful for what we have instead of let's chase this feeling, this euphoria, because it's manufactured, people. I mean, Montgomery Ward made up the Rudolph story. So, I mean, it's important to enjoy the holidays, but not be derailed by them. And we can detach, there's our sign, with love and not be caught up in all of the unrealistic expectations. And remember, expectations, when our emotions go up, our IQ plummets. It's just like this. I mean, literally, like the scales of justice. When our emotions go up, our IQ plummets, and our ability to respond instead of react goes away. And I don't have all the answers, but after the last few weeks, which have been very challenging with behaviors because we're processing grief for the first time for my son, I got caught unaware. And then today, I finally got my son back. And we were able to do Fun Friday because I worked yesterday. And he knows that I am helping people, that I'm not just going to a 9 to 5 and making someone else's dream come true. So we have a couple of signs for that, and I'll teach those in a later episode. We were able to do the river boat tour today in our city, and it was just the perfect weather. He was so calm. He was asking questions. We got to take a ton of pictures. And I mean, he loved it. As soon as we got off the riverboat, he wanted to do it again. And I've never been able to do any kind of activity like that with him. And I'm just going, wow, when we show up and we bring our authentic self and let our children know we don't have all the answers. We did a story. We talked about this is what to expect, this is what we are doing, this is how it works. And then we got to wear our loop earplugs because the announcer was, doing the tour was really loud. And then we got to go have fun and go to one of our favorite gluten-free places, and he ordered all by himself. And I mean, these are little milestones that I would have never thought to celebrate. Now, with the holidays, we're going to detach with love. We are not going to tell people to pound sand or, all that. We are going to detach with love. Also, if you're going to another location, apply these principles to your host. Um, our military training, never show up without a gift for the host or hostess. Let them know we're available to help. Again, my son loves to be in the kitchen. We always offer to do the cleanup and to kind of help organize the situation. And I love to watch him work because that is his gifting. He did not get that from me. And I love that we can come together even in a holiday season and say, hey, we're going to set the tempo for this holiday season. We are going to set the tempo. We are not going to be pressured to do things that disrupt or overload for sensory purposes. And we're not going to say, oh, well, we just got to get along. No, we're saying, hey, this is where we are. And this, I am called to be my child's advocate. And we would really love to spend time with you. That situation would be too overwhelming. Now, listen, people that should understand the assignment, like educators and therapists, they don't always understand this because if you've met one child with special needs, you've met one child with special needs. It isn't one size fits all. And it's a lot like all of us. I'm so thankful for you guys. And understand that success is not always pushing and grinding and moving forward in our business. Sometimes it's getting still. The other episodes, we're talking about being intentional and planning. And these things are really important. And it's not always super cool or sexy or trendy, but this is how we set ourselves up for success during the holidays. I hope this helps you. Please share with someone who has a special needs child so that they know they're not alone. Be authentic, legendary, and unapologetically you. Warriors, unite.